games Steph misses.
What a discrepancy. All right, back to our big story this morning now. Minutes before the Lakers took the court for their season finale, Magic Johnson stepped down as the president of his former team, which means he will not be involved in crucial team decisions like the next head coach, the next big free agent, perhaps the next general manager, the next team built around LeBron. Magic, though, still optimistic about the Lakers landing another big star.
Oh, they'll get another one. I mean, because the team is in place. If anybody see this team, everything is in place. We add one guy, and this team is in the finals, in the Western Conference Finals, because we're not too far away from everybody. Before we got hurt, we were in fourth, 2 games away from being in first, right? Playing some good basketball, and I think that. We can continue to do that. Nick, listen, you know, tomorrow, you know how many calls Jeannie gonna get for this job? This is a coveted job. Trust me, it'll be somebody good.
You believe Magic, CC? You think the Lakers will be able to land another star without Magic Johnson at the helm?
Right, I would, because Nick was asking me, Chris, how can you be optimistic about the first year with LeBron? I said, well, maybe they get off of Luke Walton, get a better coach, and then now at the end of the season, I'm convinced of this. They'll get a better president. This is one of the most coveted jobs in basketball. I heard David Griffin talking last night on NBA TV, and he said, man, guys would quit their job. What they think to be a dream job to be able to take over the job with the Lakers, because right now they failed in the last several years. They would be open to giving up that power because Magic had all basketball power. So if you're able to get that job, you can either keep it or distribute it amongst the staff. But I look for them to get someone who is more than qualified. So bad news, good news. Magic did resign, didn't like the way he did it, but I believe the basketball world, the phone will be ringing today, and I believe that the Lakers will be able to get someone good in that position, and that person will have the ability to be able to get that free agent to come to LA.
Listen, I've tried to be consistent throughout the morning. I in no way want to paint Magic Johnson abruptly quitting and telling no one as a good day for the Lakers, because they weren't expecting it. They weren't planning for it. It adds more chaos and mayhem to an offseason that was already going to be a little chaotic. But there absolutely could be the silver lining you're talking about, which is they get someone who's qualified for the position who can then help them get what's the job of the basketball president? Build the team to get that superstar and fill out the rest of the roster. They need to be big game hunting, not just in free agency, but in this position. Call Masai Ujiri today. He's done a great job in Toronto. He's as good as anybody in the league at what he does. Call him today. I would say call my buddy Daryl, but Daryl just signed a long-term extension. He's not leaving Houston. But you know who you might be able to get from Houston? Gerson Rosas, who's interviewing for GM jobs. Daryl's number 2. Mike Zarin, Danny Ainge's number 2. We have talked ad nauseum on this show about the need for the Lakers to get a smart guy in that front office, an analytics guy, a guy that understands there's more to it than just the smile and the relationships. They now have that opportunity, because I disagree with Magic in this regard, Jenna. It was not just going to be about signing another superstar. It was going to be about filling out the rest of the roster. If you trade for Anthony Davis and the roster is basically scraped away, or if you just sign a superstar and you have to figure out who those 7th, 8th, 9th guys are on your roster.
If you're a free agent and yesterday you might have had hesitations or reservations about joining this Lakers team because of how in disarray they were and because of the season they had, wouldn't you be even more hesitant or skeptical about the future right now without Magic Johnson and a potential head coach and the team around LeBron and LeBron coming off the injury?
Well, if you're banking on your future being there basketball-wise right now, but the decision doesn't have to be made today. Like, we're going to have a search process, and I just believe that they're going to get someone competent. So if the free agents had to make their decision today, that meant, yes, it would be chaotic. They would, I mean, the chance of them missing would be a lot higher than them hitting. But to me, I just believe the Lakers. And what you're saying, Nick, based on the names that you've thrown out there, you said stop doing it the Laker way. Go out and get the best. Don't go out and who you're familiar with, because that's the way the Lakers have done it, and they have done it in this recent history where they haven't been successful. But if you are trying to stay familiar, I'm going to give you a couple names that you should go for. Go across the hallway and get Jerry West.
Yeah.
Turn it over to him. Now as a free agent, you're like, okay, they stabilized. The plane was going down, but they stabilized it and looked like we could land this thing fairly safely. And my wild card would be, I would approach Pat Riley. I'd like to see, they haven't had success in Miami. I'd like to see what it would take to bring Pat Riley back to Los Angeles. That's a conversation. If I'm Jenny Buss and I stay true to my dad, if I stay true to my recent history as far as people I'm familiar with who have been successful in basketball, not a chance. Luke Walton is a chance. Magic Johnson, chance. Rob Pelinka, that's a chance. I would go out and get me something that I could sit back in my office and realize, you know something? They're controlling the basketball operation, either being Jerry West or Pat Riley, and I like our future, and I think the free agents would come immediately.
And Pat Riley is an older gentleman who for years has talked about going back to Malibu, where he's got this palatial estate where he has 30 beautiful classic cars that he never gets to drive, never gets to see for retirement, but he can't let go. Now, I think Pat Riley is the definition of a Heat lifer, so I'd be shocked, but I'd go after him, just like I'd go after Masai. You mentioned David Griffin. We know David Griffin can build a team. There are people out there that the free agents, it is, will this hurt or help the Lakers in free agency? That totally is dependent on what happens over these next 6 weeks. I now know Luke Walton's not getting fired today, like he otherwise was going to be. But who do they bring in? Who does that person bring in as the head coach? Does that person keep Luke Walton? Do they fire Luke Walton ahead of time? Do they go against what has been the Laker way, which is running it like a family business?
Yes.
I mean, think about who was there. Kobe's agent was brought in.
It was a mom and pop shop for a long time.
Right, and so bring in some professionals. Bring in some people where one of the things that stood out to me in Magic's press conference was he kept saying the word love. Jeannie loves me. I love her. She loves Luke. I love Luke. While I appreciate that, that's not really how you run a business. Like the idea of, well, like it's tough to move on from the coach because I love him. I've known this. You can't be as effective as possible when emotions are tied into things. And that's the way the Lakers, from Jerry Buss to Jim and Jeannie, have always been run, and it's hurt them.
So the first thing that came to mind when I read the news was, I wonder what LeBron's thinking. I wonder if there's a part of LeBron that regrets having come to LA with the way everything turned out. Do you think LeBron has any regrets, see?
I'm sure that there is some pause in what's going on, but I think that ultimately LeBron is a guy that has a lot of confidence. He's got a lot of confidence in what's going on in the basketball world. He knows what's probably going to happen in Golden State, so it's going to be up for grabs. And if they can get another player, LeBron realized where they were. And if he had been healthy, if Rondo had been healthy, if Lonzo stays relatively healthy, this season turns out totally different. But I believe that LeBron, and he met with Magic for a long time on Saturday with his agent, Rich Paul. LeBron's probably not as shocked as we are because he's down, he's there. And I know this through people I've talked to. LeBron's basketball IQ is very, very high. So he doesn't like the chaos of it. But what they can do moving forward, I think LeBron is excited about it. And also, LeBron's not going to be tied to Magic leaving. This is one of the few things he's not going to get blamed for. Because they know this is on Magic Johnson, had nothing to do with LeBron James.
So I want to make this very clear. Was unable to talk to anybody about this last night. So I can't report on, what was said in that meeting with Magic. I can't report on what LeBron's reaction was. But my speculation is this, that LeBron feels a level of misled by the fact that they did meet Saturday.
That's a good word choice.
Yeah, not lied to, but misled. We not only met Saturday, we met at my house in Los Angeles 9 months ago and said we were teaming up for this together. And then you basically said, man, this is too much work, I'm tapping out. And I'm certain that LeBron also is thinking this year went as poorly as I could have realistically imagined. The team was not built well. I got hurt, which he never would have conceived as a possibility. That we're going to fire the coach most likely. One of the silver linings was we knew we were firing the coach. Now LeBron's going to be thinking, wait, is that now up in the air? Could Luke Walton be back? Which I don't think is a positive. What I think will carry LeBron through this is at the end of the first year of each of his previous two moves, probably had a lot more doubts than right now. That first year in Miami, I came here because couldn't win a title in Cleveland. I promised the world 7 or 8, and I just had my most mortifying moment in my athletic career on the world stage. First year in Cleveland. Wait, this thing in Golden State is existing? Into year 2 in Cleveland. Wait, they got better? They're going to win 70 games? I mean, I've got this David Black character as my coach. Am I going to have lied to Cleveland and never win a title? So, and then both of those situations turned out great, where he delivered on the promise. So now, after 1 year in Los Angeles, there's a feeling of, man, is this going to be, this can't be my Washington Wizards years. I'm not at that point in my career. I think the fact that he has been at this moment after each of his previous moves and come back from it, reach the heights, will carry him through it. But I also think they need to hire smart people now. They need to hire a smart coach. They need to hire a smart GM. They need to figure out if Rob Pelinka has a place there. There's a lot of things that have to fall right for them to just have a chance at a championship. But they've got the biggest piece, which is LeBron, but they don't have much else there right now.
It's going to be a long offseason, a busy offseason.